Hi, everyone, and welcome to Beyond Compression. This is a brand new FS-Elliott University podcast, and it's our very first episode. We're really excited to kick this off as a way to share ideas, stories, and best practices around centrifugal air and gas compressor technology. Each episode will bring you insights from the people helping to shape the future of our industry. I'm your host, Barbara Myers, and today we're talking about how modernizing your compressor control system can deliver big benefits for your manufacturing facility. Joining me today is Tom Nist, our product manager at FS-Elliott for Aftermarket and Controls. Tom, great to have you join us today.
Thank you, Barb. Happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this one. It's always great talking about controls because the technology's changed so much over the years.
Let's start with the basics. How have compressor controls evolved over time?
So compressor controls have gone through quite a transformation. Back before the 1960s, systems were pretty simple, just enough to protect against speed and surge, but not much else. By the 1960s and 70s, you started seeing relay-based systems with a little more functionality, some sequencing, some basic monitoring. It was the first step towards smarter machines. Fast forward to the 1980s into the early 2000s, that's when microprocessors and PLCs really changed how compressors were managed. Suddenly, operators had real interfaces, detailed monitoring, and Modbus integration. Plants could monitor and control more than ever before. And today, the technology continues to evolve. Modern PLCs and processors are faster, more secure, and even predictive, able to spot issues before they happen. And what started as basic protection has now become a proactive system that drives efficiency, reliability, and seamless integration across the entire plant.
Thanks, Tom. It really has come a long way. And I guess a good question to ask at this point is, why should an operator look at their current panel and consider upgrading?
Good question. And honestly, the short answer is because modern controls just make life easier for operators. They are more reliable, way more efficient, and they actually help you avoid downtime. You get smarter pressure control, built-in monitoring, trending, diagnostics, all the good stuff. Plus, the newer displays are bigger, touch-enabled, and intuitive. You don't have to dig through menus like it's 1999. So really, it's not just about having the latest technology, but it's also about saving energy, avoiding surprises, and giving operators confidence in how their system is running.
Now, what about the hardware and communication side of things? What's really changed there?
Oh, a lot, really. Today's panels are night and day compared to what we used to have. The PLCs we're using now are much more advanced, and the processors have the power to handle complex algorithms smoothly and reliably. I remember once an operator telling me that the old displays felt like using a flip phone. Now it's more like a tablet with clear graphics that make day-to-day operations so much simpler. Also, connectivity has been standardized, whether it's Siemens or Allen Bradley. So integration is smoother and faster, reducing headaches for both operators and plant managers. And with secure remote monitoring, you can check on performance even outside the plant firewall. And let's not forget sensors. They're far more accurate today, tracking pressure, temperature, and flow in real time, feeding data back into the system to make the whole operation smarter.
That makes perfect sense. And of course, we can't skip the big one, energy efficiency. It's always top of mind for everyone. Can you walk us through how today's control modes help support efficiency?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right? And like you said, it is important to all of our industries. Older systems often ran in what's called base mode, which meant venting excess air to keep pressure steady. Simple, but it wasted a ton of energy. Modern controls are smarter. They use suction throttle control to fine-tune airflow. And they also use system pressure control to lower set points during low demand and ambient compensation to adjust based on actual conditions. And surge and flow control are built right in, while sequencing balances compressors across the entire plant. All of that adds up to significant energy savings, which supports broader ESG and carbon reduction goals and are becoming more and more important for manufacturers.
Great point, Tom. It's exciting to see new technology actually moving the needle on reducing carbon emissions. On that note, what about data? Can these new systems help track energy use and performance?
Yeah, that's something a lot of people don't realize. Modern systems don't just help to collect data. The truth is, they actually make it useful for the users. Operators can log detailed operating data for analysis, monitor energy use, and even get recommendations for switching modes. And the maintenance notifications they receive are based on actual hours and conditions, not just a calendar. And if remote monitoring is enabled, monthly performance reports can be generated automatically. It's all about turning raw data into actionable insights.
That's great to know since preventive maintenance is a big deal for operators. So if it was me, how do I know it's time to upgrade?
There are a few telltale signs to watch out for. An aging or failing HMI is one of them. And if your compressor is still limited to base mode, that's another clue. And if you can't integrate with your plant network, this is a big red flag. I was actually at a plant last month where the operators couldn't sequence their machines. So they were running inefficiently just because of the panel. For others, the turning point might be realizing they have limited access to energy or maintenance data. Any one of those situations is a pretty clear sign it's time to start thinking about an upgrade.
Okay, so let's say I'm ready. What type of panels and options does FS-Elliott offer?
We offer a range of solutions, but what works best really depends on your plant and how you operate. To start, the Regulus R1000 is our entry-level control system. It's simple, modern, cost-effective, and still gives you all of the essentials: a 9-inch touchscreen display, data logging, and communications. Then there is the R2000 panel, which is PLC-based and gives operators more flexibility and expanded monitoring options. And for complex operations, we've got the R3000, a fully engineered PLC system that's customizable, powerful, and available in simplex or redundant configurations. At the system level, our integrated compressor control, also called ICC, can sequence multiple compressors, balance loads, and manage run hours automatically. And with FS Connect remote monitoring, operators and even authorized service providers can monitor real-time data from anywhere without going through the plant firewall. In other words, no matter the size of your operation, there's a control solution that fits your plant's needs.
And I know people may ask this, but how secure is our FS Connect?
Yeah, good question. And you're right, this is one we get asked quite a bit. FS Connect is designed with the highest security measures. It actually uses a cellular gateway, so it never has to touch the plant's firewall. Access is password protected, ISO certified, and requires two-factor authentication for all users, including FS-Elliott and authorized channel partners.
Now, let's say I'm already running an FS-Elliott air or gas compressor. What does it take to upgrade my panel?
It's actually a pretty straightforward project. We provide pre-engineered retrofit kits for the R1000, R2000, and R3000, all complete with the necessary mounting brackets, transmitters, cabling, and materials. Installation usually takes a day or two for the R1000, about 3 to 5 days for the R2000, and the R3000 really depends on system complexity. The best part is these retrofits work on any FS-Elliott compressor and even on centrifugal compressors from other manufacturers.
That's great to hear. Before we wrap up, what advice would you give to listeners who are evaluating their current controls?
I'd suggest they start simple and schedule a no-cost controls health check with one of our engineers. They'll look at your current modes, energy use, and help you figure out what makes the most sense for your system.
Great insight, Tom. Thanks for sharing that with us today. And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us for the very first episode of Beyond Compression, an FS-Elliott University podcast. If you'd like to learn more, and whether it's retrofit guides, helpful resources, or even a free evaluation of your current controls, we're happy to help. Just head over to fselliott.com to get in touch. And make sure to follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook so you don't miss new episodes, product news, and updates. We'll see you next time. And until then, thanks for listening and for letting us be part of your journey towards smarter, cleaner, more reliable compressed air solutions.